And after he returns to his world, one of the stars will pinch him and awakens one of his latent powers. It is a legendary skill called domination. Kang Hyunmo wonders if how the stars are able to give such legendary skills without any effort. He thinks that with such skills, the earth would not have perished or reached its present state. And if the stars wanted to save humanity, they would do so easily. Kang Hyunmo ignored it and returned to his own world. Since he had obtained a large amount of high-quality crystal, he is thinking of buying his own home. But that would cause him a lot of problems since he had obtained the crystal in a legal way. So he decides to enroll as a hunter in the government association. This is because they can earn a lot of profits through dungeons. So the next day, Kang Hyunmo goes to the guild. But he must do some tests to be accepted. First, a physical examination, where the tester inserts his hand into one of the devices and holds a glass ball. Then he presses it to measure the force of pressure. Unfortunately, the hero breaks the glass ball easily. So the examiner retests again. But once again he breaks it. Because of that, the examiner could not assess Kang Mo's worth. And it gives him a result under verification. When carrying out other tests, the hero continues to obtain a result under verification. As for the last one, it is a test of the ability of the hunter, where participants must enter an imaginary dungeon and fight artificial monsters. One of the leaders of the large guilds arrives at the test site, because one of the test participants caught his attention. It is the red butterfly. While browsing the information of the test participants, he is surprised by the hero's ability poison blood. But because of the disadvantages of this skill, where if his blood splatters a little, it will cause great harm to his teammates. Therefore, the guild leader ignored the Kang Hyunmo and put him aside. And at the beginning of the test, several participants gather at the door of the imaginary cell. And one of the employees gives them a pink stone to each one of them. And he goes without saying anything. Participants enter the cell. On the radio, an official explains the rules of the test, where the participants must collect the largest number of stones that were given to them before the test. The participants were divided into groups of 5 people. During the next 3 hours, they must collect as many stones as possible. This is done by either eliminating the other participants, or eliminate the monsters in the dungeon. But when the test begins, the hero refuses to participate with his group. This is because he does not want to split first place prize with the rest of the group members. So he wants to go alone. But one of his group mates pulls him from behind and says he won't let him go until he hands over his stone. Kang Hyunmo gets angry and strikes a punch into his face that knocks him down. Then the scales turn and the champion decides to collect the stones of his fellows instead of the other way around. After seeing the hero's strength, the fellows hand over their stones without any resistance. But he wasn't the only hero to do so. There was also the red butterfly that did the same, and after taking the stones of its classmates, Red Butterfly encounters the first monsters in the dungeon. It is a monster manufactured with the latest new industrial technologies. It is characterized by its exceptional fighting ability, stamina, and mana reflection. He also has an experienced AI using combat skills. He has a skin made of spores of a mushroom monster that has the ability to self-renew. This makes it impossible to eliminate it individually. But if a team with perfect teamwork attacked together, then it would be possible to overthrow him. But Red Butterfly had already overthrown her team. She is currently fighting the monster on her own. The guild leader watches the participants through the external screen. One of the participants draws his attention. And he was the hero Tsung Mu, who had already destroyed many of these monsters single-handedly, which was very boring for him. Then an announcement appears that half an hour of the test has passed, and that 30% of the tiles have changed owners, so they will announce the winners for the first 3 positions. Third place is Hong Ryan with 7 stans. Second place is the Red Butterfly with 9 stans. First place is Kangmu with 16 stans. And easily the hero finishes destroying the artificial monsters, and obtain a group of spore meat fibers. He decides to use the formation skill he obtained earlier. Thus, he obtains a shield for the hands and legs. Then he goes looking for more. Red Butterfly felt nervous, unable to surpass Sun Mu. But suddenly a large group of people appear who are targeting the red butterfly. She jumps high and avoids their attacks. And with graceful and impressive movements, she jumps from one wall to another and pounds on them to eliminate a large number. That's when someone comes from far away, destroying everything in front of him. And it turns out to be her friend Hong Ryan. The red butterfly ignores its friend and jumps up and left alone. And back to the hero who is wandering around. He feels something coming from far away at a crazy speed. And if the red butterfly appeared out of nowhere, without any hesitation, she attacks the hero, who hardly responds to her attacks. If not for the skilled battle helper, it would have been difficult to dodge them. When the hero sees that the battle has become difficult, he decides to use the skill that he did not want to use before, because it can cause a lot of harm to humans. It's the skill Energy Courage. The red butterfly charged towards Kang Hyunmo. The hero gathers his energy in his right hand and then the two collide. Energy explodes all over the place. But because of this collision, Red Butterfly's arm is broken. Thus, she declares her loss. The demands to hand over her jewels. Indeed, she throws the stones on the ground. But without warning, her friend appears and pushes Kang Hyunmo so hard that he hits the ground and rolls towards the wall like a ball. Of course, she was angry because the hero had hurt her friend. Hero gets up angry and says he will not let this pass without reckoning. But the officials announce that the time is up and announce the test results. In third place with 21 stones. In second place is Kang Mu's 69 stone. In first place is the red butterfly with 88 stones. This was because her classmate had given up her stone to the red butterfly before it charged towards the hero. Kang Hyunmo feels disappointed but ignores it. But fellow butterfly does not let the hero go. She insists that he should apologize for what he did to her hand. The hero tries to control himself, but she intervened in his fight and put the blame on him. Also because of her, he lost first place. And now she wants him to apologize. So Kang Mu reaches his limits and decides to teach her a lesson. He sends a thin thread and wraps it around her neck. Then, he activated his domination skill. A group of terrifying monsters appears. But no one else seems to see them other than her. And a state of panic strikes her. She starts screaming loudly, then falls to the ground. The hero didn't expect the skill's effect to be so strong, so he ran away. In the resting area, Kang Hyunmo looked tired, as his domination skill drained a lot of mana. A person in a black suit approaches the hero. He is offering him to join a guild that belonged to the person who was watching the Taeminsu guild. While he was waiting in the car, his escort returns and apologizes that he could not recruit the hero. Later, the hero returns home, and his classmate asks him about the box he has. It seems that this box is the prize of the first place that the red butterfly handed over as a form of apology. They are rare gloves that increase strength and defense. When the hero reaches home, his expression changes completely, and he feels danger near him. So he tells his colleague to go home and not go out until he gets back. The hero heads towards the alley. Then he finds a pile of dead bodies and also Park Hiso. He is the old man who bought the algae crystal from him, who says that these gang members from Japan have come in search of his mysterious crystal. The hero asks why he is really here. Then the old man once again offers an alliance with the Tyson Guild. He tells him that he has just rejected their offer a while ago. But it seems that the old man does not accept rejection as an answer. So he attacks without listening to what he says. The hero narrowly avoids the attack and responds with an energy punch, and it seems that he has put on gloves beforehand. The old man takes out his sword, which was hidden in the stick. Kang Mu was having great difficulty handling the sword. But with the help of the battle skill, he can avoid the blows, and he jumps high, away from the range of the sword. But very quickly, the old man approaches him and shoots a quick blow to his head. The hero takes advantage of the old man approaching him. He grabs his neck and uses his dominant skill. The old man loses consciousness for a moment, so he tries to pull him by his collar and knock him down. But soon the old man regained consciousness and pointed his sword at the hero's neck. Then the blood explodes. Not from his neck, but from his hand. This is because the old man did not want to kill him. The hero laughs hysterically because the old man has overlooked the hero's most important abilities. It is poisonous blood. The sword is corroded and unusable. Kang Hyunmo took advantage of the opportunity and grabbed the old man's face with his fist. And he crushes him against the wall. But the old man grabbed his hand and hit him with his elbow, breaking the hero's hand completely. He then kicks him away and takes out a box of high-quality medicine for him to use. But even before it takes effect, the hero gets up, unharmed. This is due to his title Last Survivor, which reacts when health drops below 10%. The old man gets up and says he came to offer a deal, not to fight. And that this was a test to verify the identity of the hero. So he offers him again to join them. Kang Hyunmo categorically refuses again, but in return makes the old man a surprising offer. It seems that he was impressed by the old man's skills. So he tries to hire him and says that the leader of his union is only a famous person in the media. So it's better to abandon him and follow a talented man like him. The old man marvels at Kang Hyunmo's arrogance and says that he is either an idiot who is unaware of what is around him, or a loser with big dreams. Then he draws his sword again. Kang Hyunmo thought that sword would be of no use to him. But when the old man brandished the sword, a beam of energy shot out from it. He smashes the wall behind the hero. Then the old man says that if he wanted to kill him, he would have done so a long time ago easily. And he couldn't resist. Also, the Tyson Syndicate contains many people who are stronger than him. So a person with this weakness has no right to speak ill of her. However, this did not affect Sung Mu. He was sure that he would become better than Li Jai, the guild master. But it is always easier said than done. An old man said that only half a year after becoming a hunter, Li Jin was able to reach level 20. Any other person, even if he was a genius, would have taken at least a year. And if Kang Hyunmo could do that, perhaps he will prove his abilities. But not in a year, or even half a year. The hero offers to reach level 20 in just 2 weeks. This is because he wants to prove that he is better than the head of the guild, and not just at the same level. And for whom all his needs and special facilities for training were provided, he could not do that. If you are going to try, I hope you have a better place than him. The hero smiles and says, don't worry. I already have my own place. Indeed, Kang Hyunmo wasted no time. He began searching and hunting monsters in hell level, in which even the weakest monsters had the ability to resist. While the hero hits one of the goblins, he bites his hand. But he is not affected even a little bit by this, and even crushes his head on the ground. Before entering hell, Kang Hyunmo was only at the 10th level. But now, he had already reached level 15. This is due to the intense hunting of monsters. But the hero's body reaches its limits, so he decides to take a break. And there was someone waiting for the hero to get his meal. It is the fairy Renian, and while it tastes its meal, the hero's head is preoccupied with some things. Since he had killed so many goblins, he thought that this level did not pose any threat to him. Only one goblin can cause trouble, and that's Red Riding Hood. But the biggest fears often become reality. With this, the red-hat goblin appears suddenly behind the hero. The strange thing was that he completely ignored him, and went straight towards the pile of goblin corpses. Then he screams loudly and jumps directly towards the hero. Kang Hyunmo shouts, I'm not afraid, come at me. But after a while a message appears, the survival period has been 12 days and 6 hours. It seems that the goblin was so angry that the hero could not resist. But his anger didn't end there once the hero was revived. The goblin quickly pounced on him, and killed him again. The ball is repeated several more times. Finally, a hero decides to confront him and punches him with energy. He says, okay, I just need to face you. The hero is then dismembered before he has even finished speaking. The massacre of the hero continues many times and does not even give him time to rest. After a while, the hero somehow manages to escape. For several days the elf in the red hat cannot find him. So he thinks he ran away. A member of the goblin tribe appears and tells him that something terrible has happened. Someone has poisoned the drinking water, which has led to the death of many. And after he comes back and checks it himself, he realizes that the only person who can do this is that human. So he goes looking for him again. The other goblins tries to stop him since his enemy is able to return to life whenever he dies. But he doesn't care. While they were going to look for him, they found the body of one of their comrades, with traces of poisoning on it. Red Hat deduces that this may be a trap to lure them out of the village. So he orders the others to return to protect them. And he will go find him. Despite the hero's rapid growth, the goblin thinks he can easily defeat him, because he has preserved his style and his way of fighting. But the hero's target was not the goblins in the village. It was the Red Hat Goblin from the start. And since he has become alone, the hero himself appears and says, "I will give you a chance. A chance of dying at my hands."